What's up guys, Andrew Bainey here, and on today's video we are going to be taking a look at the Schecter C8 Silver Mountain Blood Moon guitar. That's a lot of words. So if you guys have seen any of my videos before, what I like to do personally is I like to do a full demo mix, and then we're going to get into the specs of this instrument and some individual sounds that this guitar can make. So with that being said, with no further ado, this is the full demo mix of the Schecter Silver Mountain Blood Moon 8-string guitar. This is a clip from a song called Tell Us a Flame by Humanity's Last Breath, and it sounds like this. Alright, so that was the full demo mix of this guitar. Next up, we're going to talk about the specs of this instrument, and then we'll move on to the specific tone demos, going through a clean tone, lead tone, and a rhythm tone, of course. I know that the demo mix only really showed like a low-tuned breakdown with a clean over top, but don't worry, we'll be doing some other tones, so stick around, stay tight. That's what I was going to say, stay tight. That doesn't make sense. Alright, so let's get into the specs of the guitar. For the neck, it is an ebony fretboard, mahogany 3-piece neck with carbon fiber reinforcement rods with line inlays, lumen-leg glow-in-the-dark side dots. It has a 25.5 to 27-inch multi-scale neck or fan fret, whatever you want to call it. It has a thin C neck shape, jumbo stainless steel frets, graphite nut, and a 2-way adjustable truss rod. As for the body, it is the Silver Mountain guitar in the Blood Moon finish, which is why it's red instead of silver. It has a set neck with ultra access, mahogany body, 1-ply black binding, and a hip-shot hardtail bridge. The pickups are Schecter USA Sonic Seducer pickups in both the bridge and the neck. As for controls, it has 2 volume knobs and a push-pull tone knob. And last but not least, it is strung up with Ernie Ball 8-string skinny top, heavy bottom strings, which are a 9 to 80 set. So that's pretty much all the specs of this guitar. Obviously, the most eye-grabbing detail of this guitar is the finish. So as I mentioned earlier, this is called the Silver Mountain because originally it was released in silver, but now it is also available in this beautiful Blood Moon red finish, as well as a toxic green finish, which I'm sure a lot of people thought I would grab the green one, but no, I went for the red one because I wanted an 8-string, and the green one is for some reason the only one that doesn't come in an 8-string. I'm not really sure why. So red it is. So with all the specs out of the way, next up we're going to move on to some specific tone demos. We'll be using the tones that I used in my full demo review, as well as a lead tone, since I know that the demo didn't have any lead tones, so we'll be sure to throw that in there as well. So let's move on to that section. Okay, first up is the rhythm guitar tone. For this, I was using a Hades Gate by Eris Effects, as well as the Savage Boost pedal, and those were going into the Fortin Nameless Suite plugin, and that's pretty much it for guitar tone. I definitely found that the boost was absolutely necessary for these pickups because they did sound a little bit muddy. I'll show you guys what it sounds like without the boost first, and then I'll turn the boost on so you guys can hear how big of a difference it made in the terms of sound of this guitar. So with that all being said, this is what the rhythm guitar tone sounds like. So yeah, like I said, I don't really know what's going on with these pickups, but for some reason, in my opinion, they definitely need a boost because they were a little muddy beforehand. But as soon as I kicked on a boost pedal, I was pretty happy with it. I know that this plugin does have a built-in Fortin 33 or whatever boost pedal, but I just prefer using my physical pedal. But I'm sure that if you use a plugin or have a pedal board or whatever, just keep in mind, definitely you're gonna want a boost with these pickups. But let's play around a little more in this tuning. Okay, so next up we're going to go over the clean guitar tone. So for this, I was using the Cory Wong plugin by Neural DSP, and I was on the neck pickup position. This is how it sounds. I'll also be sure to flip on the coil tap halfway through so you can hear the difference that makes. Sounds like this. Okay, the final test we are going to do is the lead guitar tone test. Once again, this is on the neck pickup position only. I'll switch back and forth with using the tone push-pull knob. You can hear the difference. This is what it sounds like. Okay, so now that we've gone over how the guitar sounds in a full demo mix, as well as giving you guys a few different tone examples, last but not least is to talk about, of course, my thoughts on the guitar. Now, bear in mind, I might be slightly biased here because Schecter did send me this guitar, so, you know, I didn't pay for it with my own money, so bear that in mind. There may be some bias there, whether I'm trying to or not. Just thought I'd state that one more time just for the record. So here's what I like about the guitar. First and foremost, obviously this finish is amazing. It honestly kind of reminds me of almost like a custom shop finish that you would see on like an Aristides or something like that. It's kind of like a swirl, but not really. The red is dark and it's not super bright and in your face, which I like because I'm not really a big fan of red guitars, so I like that this is actually a little more subtle. It also is a sparkly red, so it's like metallic red, but also mixed with black, and also has black binding. Just overall, the finish on this guitar is incredible looking, and that is by far my favorite thing about this guitar. In addition to that, hip shot bridge, always love a hip shot bridge. Tuning stability is actually really good on this one as well. It seemed to stay in tune pretty much no matter how much I was bending it, which is really nice while I was tracking the demo, because I had a lot of bends around like the 19th and 20th fret on the low strings, and it seemed to pretty much stay in tune, which is great. I'm sure that has something to do with the locking tuners. Now let's get to the things I don't like about it. The only things I don't like about it is, one is a personal preference, but I don't really like the gloss neck. On the other guitar that they sent me, which is right here, the Blackjack C7, as you can see on the back, it actually has a satin neck even though the rest of the guitar is gloss, and I really wish that they did that with this guitar as well this time around, but for some reason they didn't. I don't know why. The other thing that I wasn't super in love with at first is the pickups. Again, these are just Schecter's own home brand of pickups called the Sonic Seducers. The neck pickup is good and okay. The bridge pickup is definitely a little muddy. However, like I said, once I threw a boost into the equation, it seemed to clear up a lot of those nasty frequencies I wasn't really liking with not that much effort. So, you know, they're definitely not terrible pickups, definitely not the worst 8-string pickups I've ever played or anything like that, but they're a little muddy. Can you fix that with a little bit of EQ or a boost pedal or different amp settings? Absolutely. So not that big of a deal, but just something to bear in mind going into this. If you plug this directly into your amp or your plugin with the same tone settings you've used before, you probably are going to need to adjust them, because that's what I had to do on my end. Just thought I'd point that out. As for the actual quality of the guitar itself, there's not really anything that sticks out as being wrong or flawed with this, in my opinion. As always, the biggest thing with guitars that makes them feel cheap is bad fretwork or sharp fret ends. Like if you run your hand up and down the guitar, if any of these frets are touching your fingers, it's no good in my opinion. I absolutely hate that. And this does not have that at all. In fact, the black binding actually hides the fret end, so it looks even better. Yeah, that's pretty much my overall thoughts on this guitar. So overall, I definitely like it. Wish it had maybe a little bit better pickups. Wish the back of the neck was gloss. And then my only last critique is something that is the same critique for every Schecter guitar. I don't really know why they do this. It's just a personal preference thing, but they always have 2 volume knobs and 1 tone knob. I don't think I've ever wanted to have a volume knob for my bridge and a volume knob for my neck. I don't personally see the use in that. Maybe lots of other people do, so that's why they keep doing it. I'm not really sure. Maybe they have some market research that I'm not aware of. I just know I personally don't like that, and I wish that it either had 1 volume knob and a tone, or even better, just a volume knob and no tone and no neck volume. That would be great for me. I don't use tone, I don't use volume. If this was like 1 volume knob and the volume knob was the push-pull to activate the coil split, that would be perfect for me. But I know that this point is really just like a personal preference. It's not really something that's wrong with the guitar by any means. And there are definitely players out there who I assume like this control configuration, so that's just my 2 cents. So with all that being said, if you are interested in purchasing your own Schecter Blood Moon Silver Mountain 8-string or 7-string or 6-string or any of the other variations that they have, go check it out. It's going to be linked in the description and the pinned comment. To the Sweetwater website as well as Schecter's website, where you can buy it either way. I think the Schecter website only works if you're in the United States, so that's why I like to include both. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope I answered most of your questions if you've been thinking about getting this guitar or a different guitar in the Schecter Silver Mountain series. As always, a big thank you to all my Patreon members whose names are on screen at this point in time. If you guys are interested in getting audio downloads, guitar tabs, a shout out on the screen, or anything like that, go check out my Patreon. That's also going to be linked in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you liked this video, definitely go check out some more of my videos. Consider hitting that subscribe button, all the usual stuff that every YouTuber says. And of course, a big thank you to Adam and Schecter for sending this guitar over to me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.